Yo, oh, me. I didn't even know we were live streaming. We're live. My Twitch is my TikTok letting me know I'm live streaming right now. This is Kendrick Lamar just started a war. I like how they got that on there. Came in often. It shows how many people online. No viewers yet, but I'm sure that'll change soon. Anyways, let's get right into it. This is my
Kendrick Lamar is done with the comparisons. Just 2 hours ago, Metro Boomin and Future released an album called We Don't Trust You. And honestly, I was gonna wait to listen to it, but Twitter made it clear I needed to listen to it now. More specifically because of the track Like That, which features an uncredited Kendrick Lamar, and he basically unleashes war. For the last 2 months, I've been trying to figure out how are Metro Boomin and Drake really gonna beef? How does a producer-rapper beef work? And he enlisted Kendrick Lamar, which to me came out of nowhere because we haven't heard much from Kendrick Lamar since the release of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. But hey, I'm not complaining. And let's just get into it basically.
First person shooter, I hope they came with 3 switches.
Not gonna lie, when I heard that bar, I was like, maybe this is just a bit coincidental. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Then my guy Kendrick doubled down.
Fuck the big 3, nigga, it's just big me, nigga.
And honestly, this to me is crazy. For as long as I've been a hip-hop fan, it seems like the conversation of the big 3 has been around. And for the most part, people already picked their camps. You're either team Drake, Kendrick, or J. Cole. And this may seem like it came out of nowhere, but I guess it makes sense if you really think about it.
Niggas so thirsty to put me in beef, dissecting my words and start looking too deep.
From Kendrick's point of view, it might legitimately look like Drake and J. Cole are forming a super team.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me?
But if I'm gonna be honest, it seems like J. Cole is kinda just the middle child once again. Because as far as I can tell, no direct diss is towards J. Cole. It's just kinda collateral damage, but on the other hand, Drake does get targeted.
All your dogs getting buried, that's a K with all these nines. He gon' see Pet Cemetery.
Dog. That shit was fire. Now obviously this referencing for All the Dogs, which came out a couple months ago and will forever be known as a track that tied Drake with Michael Jackson, and something that made a lot of people say that Drake was undoubtedly the GOAT now. I mean, tying with Michael Jackson, nobody else can do that. But Kendrick Lamar already cooked up a response for that too.
Prince outlived Mike.
By aligning himself with Prince, Kendrick Lamar is kind of discrediting everything Drake has done on the record side of things. Mostly because whenever you have the discussion of Michael Jackson and Prince, most people are going to say that Michael Jackson sold more records, but Prince was better. At least if they believe that Prince was better. Which is why at the beginning of the verse, Kendrick Lamar says, it's a lot of goofies with a check. Honestly, this shit is like a thesis statement. He saw the counter arguments that people were going to have, and he dismounted the conversations before they even happened. Still though, I feel like I need to rewind at least a little bit because it does seem like it came kind of out of nowhere. At least if you weren't paying attention. But at least for the purposes of this video, we're not gonna go all the way back. I assume you know Kendrick Lamar and Drake.
You ugly as fuck.
So it's 2022 and Kendrick Lamar returns to hip hop. It's been 5 years since the last Kendrick Lamar record, by the way, based on his family ties verse.
People helping people.
5 years, then you just come out with Morale and the Big Steppers.
Tennessee residents served.
What's going on?
It's time.
I mean, he ain't just coming out.
Every good thing in this world started with a dream.
You mark my words, this is gonna be the best chocolate shop the world.
Smoking on your top 5 tonight.
22.
However, when the album came, surprisingly, the record was mostly about mental health, which was cool, and I do think the album was good. But that whole smoking on top 5 energy went out the window. In fact, the only mention of Drake throughout the record was Kendrick Lamar saying that he was confused as to why he made up with Kanye.
When Kanye got back with Drake, I was slightly confused.
Like, I don't know, that's not even a diss for real. In fact, in terms of disses, most fans have had to reach.
Right.
So this is Sticky by Drake. It was released on the infamous Honestly Nevermind record. An album that everybody hated, but I think it's decent. I don't hate it as much, but a lot of people do, which makes a lot of people think that this song
Messy, get them girls off the stage, cause somebody
was Kendrick showing that he could do the same thing that Drake was doing, but make it better. Me personally, I think it's a stretch because when it comes to dissing each other, Kendrick and Drake have never been subtle about it. They may not drop a name, but you definitely know who they're dissing. In fact, if you want an example of what a real diss looks like between these two, then Drake's got you covered.
I don't know about these guys that go away 3, 4, 5 years, want to chill out, all that shit. That's not me.
Obviously, this is a reference to Kendrick Lamar and the whole 1,855 days in between Mr. Morale and Damn, compared to Drake, who has released like 7 albums this decade. It's honestly crazy, man. Shout out to Drake for that. But of course, Drake should have known better than to know that someone like Kendrick wasn't gonna let that slide. Or maybe he really believed that Kendrick Lamar wouldn't say nothing about it because of that Mr. Morale album and how much that was about growth and healing. However, as we now know, that was not the case. And you gotta wonder how much Metro Boomin played a part in all this, because for those who don't know, Metro Boomin and Drake have been beefing for a while now. Obviously not for the extended amount of time that Drake and Kendrick Lamar have been beefing, but this beef goes back at least a couple of years, as Drake was originally set to be on Heroes and Villains, but got taken off for whatever reason. However, the track ended up leaking online, which leads a lot of people to believe that Drake himself leaked the song. Drake has done this before with Life of the Party when Kanye dissed them. The beef was something that people speculated on, but it definitely became clear once Metro Boomin started speaking out against her loss, winning Rap Album of the Years, and the hate got solidified once Drake poked fun at Metro Boomin. So how would somebody like Metro Boomin respond? How about by getting one of Drake's biggest threats and having Kendrick directly diss him? Which again is a big deal because Kendrick Lamar doesn't do disses like this, not anymore. And even Drake hasn't dissed Kendrick Lamar like this in a long time, at least not on record. So I'm predicting that Kendrick Lamar has just unleashed war. Of course, I don't believe that Drake will respond with a full-on diss track, at least not yet, and definitely not without an album in mind. But there will definitely be a reply sometime soon. It just depends on what album is next to release and whether that artist is featuring Drake. However, I think lost in all of this is J. Cole. Listen, J. Cole is about to set the world on fire when the fall off drops. I remember a couple weeks ago I made a video about how the fall off can determine the rankings on the big 3, and I think Kendrick Lamar opened the door for that to become a reality. Because when it comes to Kendrick Lamar and the big 3 as a whole, it feels like J. Cole has been the most passive of the 3. He never fails to praise Kendrick Lamar or praise Drake, and he goes as far as to acknowledge that most people have even forgotten of him in the conversation. It will be interesting to see how J. Cole replies. J. Cole has never really done a diss track. Sure, there's False Prophets, more notably there's 1985, but those aren't really diss tracks. Or maybe he'll see it as not that big of a deal because it is kind of technically what J. Cole said on First Person Shooter when he was like, I feel like Muhammad Ali, or in other words, I feel like the GOAT. But regardless, I want to give a big shout out to Metro Boomin, to Future, and to Kendrick Lamar because I haven't been this excited for hip hop in a long time. I feel like it's been probably like a year since something like this has happened. Probably more now that I really think about it. I think the last really event of hip hop was when Heroes and Villains released. That was towards the end of 2022. So, hey, I'm down for it. Because reuniting the big 3 for one more run might be the most legendary thing Kendrick Lamar has ever done. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just like excited for what hip hop could be. Maybe this is the surgical summer that we never got.
I'm gonna just say 27:30.
Anyways, I finished doing a video like 2 hours ago. Now I'm ready to record this one. Obviously I recorded it already. I'm ready to edit it. Shout out to Yedilla. Shout out to Gosh.
Alright, thank y'all for watching. Obviously on this one. Shout out TikTok. Before we got here, let's check TikTok. Let's see what we're doing right now. Okay, I could easily just go over here. I don't think it's all gonna pop up, but who knows? Now my multi-stream never be working. Just give me a second. Let me log on to this other profile. Okay, we are here right now. Let's see, not much of anything when it comes to substance. Let me just get a few lights on here. I love spamming the like button. It'd be so nerve-wracking. I mean, like, I don't know, it just makes you feel better. Like watching paint dry or whatever. But anyways, we out of here.